Hi, everybody. It's Jen. I am super excited to pop in today with a video newsletter. So, I wanted to share a really fascinating story from a coaching session that I had last week with someone who is actually on this list. So, she'll probably recognize herself. I'm not saying names, but it allowed me to really see some big pieces that get in the way when people think about trusting their intuition and taking the leap towards what they really desire. And I'm owning my what my intuition made me do today with my branded T-shirt, and it was very relevant for today's video because I want more of us being able to say, "My intuition made me XYZ," and saying it with joy and saying it with pride and saying it with confidence, and then using that and leveraging that to take our next leap and say yes to our next yes, because that is how we do it. It's through practice. So one of the objections that came up when we were in our coaching session together was, um, am I too old? Am I too old to do this thing now? Am I too old to like reach for my dreams or say yes to my yes and trust my intuition and take some leaps and take some risks and maybe let my life get a little bit messy? Like, is it too late for me to do that? Like, can I afford to take these kinds of risks at my age where I'm at right now? And this is actually, I didn't realize how big of an objection this is for so many people. And my answer was, oh my God, it is never too late to say yes to your yes. It is never too late to trust your gut, because is it ever too late to feel more joy? Is it ever too late to receive more success? Is it ever too late to make a bigger impact on people? Is it ever too late to wake up to your dream life? Never. It is never too late. And it's really important to remember the cost of everything, right? So when we think about, would it be reckless for me to take some intuitive leaps right now where I'm at in my life, whether you're 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, can I risk making those changes? I would reverse the question and ask yourself, can I afford to not do it? Can I afford to continue to live with these dreams inside of me and slowly let them die inside of me? Is it worth continuing to ignore what I know to be true for me and the dreams that I want to experience while I'm here on earth? Those are the questions we need to be asking ourselves. What is the cost of saying no to your yes? What is the cost of ignoring your intuition and letting your dreams kind of slip through your fingers? For me, the cost of that is way, way bigger than the potential risk of saying yes to your yes and experiencing something new. And I really, really want us to remember that we can take quantum leaps in our lives, and also, so things can shift really quickly, right? It doesn't need to take us 10 years to bring our dream life to life. It can take, like, it can happen sometimes in a snap of a finger. It can happen within a couple of weeks. It can happen within a year. It all depends on us, really, and the steps we're willing to take, because every little step that we take daily compounds, right? It compounds and compounds, and then it creates the foundation that is going to be our launch pad towards what we desire. So if you start right now saying yes to all the tiny little yeses in your life, that is going to compound and bring you closer to the reality or the experiences that you want way faster. And so I have worked with so many people who have been at so many different ages and so many different phases of their life, um, that have made huge shifts in their life. And like even myself, when I think back to all of the things that I would have not done if I would have not trusted my gut, and I think about what my life would be like today, it terrifies me. It is so scary. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't care how old I am. I'm going to be saying yes to my yes until I take my last breath. Because every time I say yes to my yes, I experience more joy. I experience more abundance. I experience more love. I experience life at a deeper level. I experience more healing. It's like the goodness that comes out of it is so incredibly amazing. So, are you too old or is it too late to say yes to your yes and trust your intuition? Never. It is not. But you get to choose. And one of the things that I do now with my clients, actually, because some clients like to work with me over 3, 6 months, 12 months, and we do it nice and slowly. And I also have VIP days and VIP weekends. So this is us deep diving together. We spend a whole day or a whole weekend together or 2 days, and we hold space for this big, beautiful vision that you have and this dream that you have. And we quantum leap into that reality right away. What is this thing you want? Let's be there now. Let's feel it now. Let's experience it now. Get your nervous system to feel it now. And when you do that, you're already experiencing that reality, even if you can't quite see it yet. And then we really go into some vision casting and get really into the good feels of this vision, of this reality that you want to experience. And then we start to make a strategic plan towards all of those little yeses that you're going to say to start to move you in that direction. And I'm telling you, I have seen people shift their lives so quickly, and not in a reckless way. Yes, things get messy when we say yes to our yes temporarily. Yes, we're stepping out of our comfort zone. So, it's kind of like when there's an earthquake, the ground shatters and breaks all apart. And then after the earthquake, the buildings are still moving a little bit because the ground is trying to come back into stability and the pieces coming back together. And so that's what happens after we say yes to our yes, is the ground underneath us breaks up a little bit to create our new reality, to create more space for this new vision. And then the pieces slowly start to come back together. So we don't want to panic when things are feeling a little shaky or a little different than what they usually are. It's just change that is happening. It's transformation that's happening. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's like when the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, it goes into the cocoon. And before it becomes the butterfly, there's a moment where it turns to complete mush and it becomes nothing. It becomes like goo. And it literally thinks that it is dying because it becomes like no form, no nothing. Um, and then all of a sudden it turns into this beautiful butterfly, and the cocoon breaks open, the wings open up, and then it takes flight. That for me is such a perfect example of the intuitive living journey. And so if you lead your life intuitively, you're going to keep going into the cocoon and becoming a new, more expansive, more beautiful, more colorful, more abundant butterfly version of who you are. And I want to read something to you from the person who I had the coaching session with. And she said, "Oh my God, I felt so impacted with only one session. I can't even imagine how helpful and insightful it can be to work with you over more time." So here's what I want to say. If you're feeling like, oh my God, this resonates, this feels right, this feels like truth to me, and you just want to test this, you want to take one step and say, let me see what happens if I actually own this and explore it a little bit with Jen and get some coaching and get some support and see how I feel after. I'm inviting you to book in just one session. And just like this person, I almost said her name, did with me, just one session, it was mind blowing for her. We unveiled so many truths for her, so many visions, so many ideas, so many paths forward. And she left feeling so hopeful and so confident. Her energy was just bubbling. And when she came in, her energy was a lot more contracted, like kind of in the fear of like, I have these dreams, but I did just feels like too much. And, it was really uncomfortable and scary for her. And as we worked through her vision and her dreams and the possibilities for her, she left just like feeling so expansive. And so that's what I want you to feel for yourself. So I'm going to put a link in the email with a button for you to be able to book just one session if you want to just take one small leap and test this out with me and see where it brings you, see what happens, see what it reveals. And who knows, this might be the red carpet that unfolds in front of you and leads the whole way forward after that. All right, have a really good day, and I will be back soon, maybe with more videos because I really love showing up here and connecting with you guys in this way as well.